Breaking news. This is WYFF News 4 at 6 in high definition.
Very quickly, we're going to begin tonight with this rainy weather.
WYFF News 4 Chief Meteorologist John Cesarich is here with a look. John, when's this going to stop?
Probably sometime just after midnight or even late this evening, Carol and Michael. We're getting the wraparound moisture now. You can see here's the first batch of rain that moved across the area. We actually needed some rain, so this is good news. Good soaking rains across the area, most of it fairly light, at times moderate to heavy. And most of us have already seen anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rain. And then we even had a couple of claps of thunder here in parts of Oconee County as this backlash comes in here. A lot of cold air aloft causing some instability. I'm not surprised to hear a couple claps of thunder and even reports of some pea-sized hail being reported in parts of Oconee County over the last hour or so as these thunder showers make their way off from northwest to southeast across the area. Temperatures well above the freezing mark, so it's all liquid precipitation. It'll come to an end as we head toward midnight. And then get ready for a series of Arctic cold fronts coming in for us. Yeah, I'll talk about that in detail a little bit later on. Now back to you, Carol.
Thank you, John. Classes resumed today at USC School of Public Health. That's the building where Dr. Raja Fayed died at the hands of his ex-wife. Now we've learned the ex-wife, Sunji Kwan, was seeing a pastor for marriage counseling, even though she and Fayed were already divorced.
I never had a chance to meet both of them. She's pretty quiet, introvert, pretty in love, but she was totally devastated. Her world has just collapsed.
That was the pastor for the Korean Community Presbyterian Church in Columbia. The pastor says Kwan came to him just weeks before the shootings looking for help. At the time, he says he did not realize the couple had already divorced. The pastor says he told Kwan to distance herself from her ex. Meanwhile, an incident report from January 12th shows USC police were called to the school after Dr. Fayed said Kwan was sitting in his lab. Fayed told investigators he was uncomfortable with Kwan because she kept showing up at the school.
And domestic violence advocates say victims, especially men, are often too ashamed or embarrassed to report patterns of abuse. WYFF News 4's Ashley Swan is here with why abuse against men may happen more often than you think. Ashley?
Michael, local domestic violence advocates say statistically more men are abusers than women, but they do help men who are victims themselves of abuse. And advocates believe many cases of domestic violence against men may go unreported.
There are women who are perpetrators of domestic violence, and it can be deadly.
Safe Harbor Executive Director Becky Callahan says the killing of USC professor Dr. Raja Fayed at the hands of his ex-wife, Sunji Kwan, is a sobering reminder that women aren't the only victims of domestic violence.
And I think that the stigma attached to it is so much worse for a man that men are reluctant to ask for help.
A report released by USC over the weekend shows Fayed did recently raise a red flag, calling police to the campus just last month to report Kwan for continuously showing up at his class. But at the time, Fayed didn't tell investigators about his and Kwan's history.
Many victims don't feel comfortable telling people in their professional sphere that they are in a situation where they are being harassed or being threatened.
Especially, Callahan says, if that victim is a man. 3 weeks after Fayed made the call, police say Kwan returned, killing him and then herself.
Most victims are killed as they are trying to leave the relationship, and that is why it is so critical for victims to understand how to leave the relationship safely.
Callahan says changes to our laws and how we think about domestic violence in South Carolina can't come soon enough. She says she's cautiously optimistic about the task force the governor has put together. Carol?
Ashley, thank you. Some are calling for stronger DUI laws in South Carolina, saying some cases are being thrown out on a technicality. WYFF News 4's Mandy Gaither is live and local in our Anderson newsroom tonight. Mandy, there are 2 bills in the State House right now.
Right, and both are aimed at making it harder for cases to be thrown out because of video evidence.
I had 8 stitches here, broke my wrist.
It's been 48 years since Charity Jones was hit by a drunk driver. While her wounds have all healed, her memories have not. It's one of the reasons she spent the past 18 years volunteering with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and the reason she's fighting for stricter DUI laws in South Carolina.
I'm just blessed that I was not killed. And so many times lives are lost.
While the laws have come a long way since Jones was hurt, she and others say they've got a long way to go. Right now, the law requires a field sobriety test to be videoed. It was supposed to help in the prosecution of impaired driving, but some say the opposite has happened.
They had the case thrown out because someone stumbled off camera. That is very frustrating.
Anderson County Sheriff John Skipper says he's hearing about cases being thrown out because of a small technical problem with the camera or because the suspect isn't in frame the whole time. 2 bills filed in the South Carolina House and Senate address this and would make it so that if the camera doesn't catch the entire field sobriety test, that it wouldn't alone be a reason for the dismissal of charges.
It's not rocket science. It's just a lackadaisical attitude by law enforcement.
DUI attorney Ronnie Cole co-authored the current law and says there isn't much wrong with it. He says officers need to pay more attention to what the camera is catching.
Law is not there for the sole purpose of helping the defendant. It's there to help the prosecution too.
Jones says the only thing that matters is saving lives and says a change in the laws would do that.
And a group of officers, prosecutors, and advocates from across the state will be in Columbia tomorrow calling for these changes in the law. Mandy Gaither, WYFF News 4 Live in the Anderson newsroom.
All right, Mandy, thank you. Tips from the public led Anderson County deputies to a man accused of trying to kill his ex-girlfriend by forcing her car off the road. Jason Reed is charged with attempted murder in the case. Deputies caught up with him in Pelzer on Saturday. They say back on January 31st, Kristen Queen and Mitchell Carroll were driving into Anderson County when Reed slammed into the back of the car. That car eventually crashed into a tree. But deputies say Reed and another man tried to pull Carroll out of the car, eventually abandoned that effort and ran off. Deputies tonight are still trying to identify that second man involved.
A guardrail blamed for causing injuries and deaths has passed a critical round of government testing. WYFF News 4 Investigates first broke this story back in the fall. Tim Waller is here with this latest development. Tim?
Carol, South Carolina is one of more than 40 states that's banned the use of the Trinity guardrails. This after lawsuits against the company claim the guardrail went through some vehicles like a spear instead of absorbing the impact of the crash. Our investigation last November found while Trinity guardrails are in full use in South Carolina, DOT has no idea how many there are or where they've been installed. One official estimated there could be 2,000 in the state. None, as far as he knew, were blamed for injuries or deaths. Late last week, the Federal Highway Administration announced Trinity guardrails passed the government's first round of tests. They say the guardrails performed as they should and did not puncture any passenger compartments. The makers of Trinity guardrails say the government tests confirm what they've been saying all along, that the guardrails do meet government safety standards. Still, there have been no shipments of these guardrails to South Carolina. State DOT officials say they won't comment on the matter until all government tests are complete. Michael?
All right, Tim, thank you. Big news for the city of Spartanburg tonight. The Carolina Panthers are coming back. They're going to stay in the upstate for training camp. WYFF News 4 Sports Director Brad Freilich is right here with more on this tonight. Brad, good evening.
Good evening, Michael. A big deal for Spartanburg, but really a big deal for the entire upstate. As we expected, the Carolina Panthers announced they will stay at Wofford for at least the next 5 years for training camp. The Panthers have held training camp in Spartanburg since the inception of the franchise 20 years ago. Nearly 50,000 visitors came and watched training camp this past year, and Panthers president Danny Morrison says they are thrilled to keep Camp Wofford right here.
We've had such a great 20-year run at Wofford and here in the upstate. Now we've got a chance to just continue that for the next 5 years. It was something that we were looking forward to getting done.
Last year alone, Panthers camp poured over $5 million into the Spartanburg economy, another big reason for the upstate to try and keep it right here. Coming up in sports, the latest on the Greg Hardy domestic violence case. We'll see you in just a few minutes.